Hey coaches, what's going on? It's Coach Tim here with another video, guys, and I got a good one for you. I wanted to answer a question that a coach asked me. He wanted to know how many running backs do I use in my system, and also how do I rotate my running backs. So I made a video about this a while back, but I think it's worthy to just kind of create another video talking about my system and just kind of my style, because I know it's a little unconventional than most youth football coaches that I've seen, the way they run their personnel, manage it, and all of that good stuff. So guys, before I get into the video, guys, do me a solid and like and subscribe to my channel, guys, and hit that notification bell, guys. I know some of you will message me and say, hey, I didn't know you dropped 4 other videos. I'm like, did you hit the notification bell? So make sure you hit that notification bell so you can be updated whenever I drop a new video. All right, guys, so let's get into this thing. And I know some of you guys may agree with what I'm about to say, may disagree. If you agree with it, hit that like button, guys, all right? So when it comes down to my system, guys, I like to run 4 running backs, okay? I like to run 4 running backs. And you may be like, man, 4 running backs? I only got 13 players on my team. But I like to run 4, and there's really 4 different styles that I look for as well that we're going to talk about in a minute. But I like to run 4 running backs because, number one, if you only using 1 or 2 guys, that's usually the standard that every team got. Every team got at least 1 or 2 studs, on their team. But what if you add one more running back that may not be a stud, but he can get the job done? He can get you, let's say, average you 3 to 4 yards a carry. That would help you if you've been running your studs and they need a break. I always hate to see when, the studs get ran into the ground or get hurt because they're running the ball too much, and in most teams, you got multiple kids who are skilled guys. They may not be the stud, but they can still run the ball with proper coaching. And I always say, it's your responsibility as the coach to identify the talent and develop the talent. And some of these kids may not be, your best running back, but if they're your 3rd best or your 4th best, put them to use, because it's going to help you with stamina, endurance. It's going to really make defenses unbalanced to adjust to the style of the new running back, all of that good stuff. So let's get into it. So I want to talk about first the type of quarterback that I look for. And let me premise by saying all of my running backs pretty much play the quarterback role. They all rotate and run the ball in the beast, okay? All of them. But there is a certain type of kid that I look for to start the game with and running the ball, all right? So I look for a kid who has high IQ, okay? I look for a kid who's very smart. He knows football. He can see the field. It's easier for him to kind of adapt to the game, and they manage the game well under pressure. Now, this kid may not be the most talented kid, may not be the fastest or the strongest kid, but they have the highest IQ and they have the low risk of turnover. I like using this kid because usually my real smart kids, they're very low risk. They're not going to cause a lot of turnovers and fumbles and stuff like that. They're usually the captain on the team. They're able to kind of galvanize the troops, so to speak. So I always look for that kid. Even if I'm sacrificing speed or power, I want that kid to run the ball. And then number 2, this is my personal favorite, guys. I look for more of a power / fullback type of kid to run the ball, because these kids, they love to be physical. It plays right into the beast formation. And a lot of these kids, they don't mind running the ball in short yardage situations, in goal line situations, or they don't mind, lead blocking and all of that good stuff. So I love these type of kids because they're usually team players and they just want to hit somebody. They're just football players, They may be super strong. They may be You know, maybe that stocky kid, that real stocky kid, maybe short and stocky or whatever, but he will he'll punish you if, you know, if you're not coming with your A game. All right, and then number 3, what I look for is my fast guys, okay, my speed demon. You know, usually in the last few years, the fastest guy on my team, I'd say, yeah, the fastest guy on my team may not know how to read the lanes very well, and you may have to coach that up, but I always like to have a really fast running back so he can get out there second level and block or kick out that cornerback. And I also like to use this speed guy. If we know we got speed on the team, we're going to use him to run jet sweeps and things of that nature out the beast and just run an open field. That's where he does a lot of his damage. So I always like a speed guy. And then the last guy, it's kind of a kid that's kind of the balance of power, speed, and IQ, or at least power and speed or something like that, kind of a hybrid back. I was blessed to have one that was high IQ, high power, high speed, and this kid actually was the league MVP 2 years ago for us. I mean, this kid was super strong. He wasn't the strongest on the team. He wasn't the fastest on the team. He wasn't the smartest on the team, but he was a combination of, you know, maybe the second fastest, the second strongest, and the third smartest or something like that, right? He was kind of a hybrid. And I love these kids because they are real, like, exciting kids to watch. They're playmakers. You don't know when they're going to run somebody over. You don't know when they're going to just dust somebody, you know, but they're just football players, right? So, you know, those are kind of the 4 different style of running backs that I look for, guys. But if you was to ask me, if I had a bunch of kids lined up and you was to ask me, okay, what's the number one thing I'm looking for? Like, what type of player am I looking for? Guys, I'm always going to look for the kid with the highest IQ past anything else. And I know a lot of you guys may be like, forget that, I'm getting the fastest kid, or I'm getting the strongest kid. But for me, I want the smartest kid, because the smartest kid, in my experience, now he has to have talent. Let me premise by saying that, because I know not every smart kid has talent per se, or stud level talent. But if this kid is smart and he can read the field and he know how to stay in his lane and run the ball, I want him to set the tone for my offense, because I take pride in having a very low risk, high reward offense. So I want to use him to kind of set the tone for the whole offense. And then the second kid I look for is more the balanced style kid. May not be the fastest, may not be the strongest, may not be the smartest, but they are amazing at creating plays. They're amazing at creating plays. Really, most of these kind of kids are dogs. They got just a Iron Man mentality. Like, I want that kind of kid to kind of be my second level running back. And then I go into my specialist, my power guy, my speed guy, which, you know, that kind of becomes, you know, the bread and butter. A super fast kid or super powerful kid, that's their bread and butter. But I like my hybrid kids, right? And if you notice, if I got a smart kid that can read the field, you know, that got leadership skills, that's a hybrid skill set. Same thing with the balanced kid. That's a hybrid skill set. I like my hybrids, guys. So the second part of this is, Coach asked me, how do I kind of rotate my personnel? And pretty simple, guys, the way I rotate. So basically in the first quarter, I call the first quarter testing the waters, which means I'm running all 4 of my running backs. I'm giving them at least 2 series of downs to run the ball. Sometimes I do this back to back. Sometimes I kind of spread it out. But I try to give each one of my running backs at least 2 entire series of downs that they can run, because it helps me to know how hot they are that game. It lets me know how the defense can adjust and stop them. And usually I'm able to identify who's going to be the kid that's going to score me 4 or 5 touchdowns that game. And then it's going to show me the second kid that's having the most success. And once I test the waters, then, I'm able to now see who's going to get maybe a little bit more reps than the other kids. You see what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, each one of my kids, they're going to carry the ball. And guys, to be honest with you, I usually have 8 running backs, 7 or 8 running backs that I rotate in, because usually by the third quarter, the game is over. We didn't beat up on the defense so much, and we took their souls, so to speak, to where they will to play. They don't even want to play us no more. So I rotate my second, string guys in to get them reps. And so that's a whole nother speed that we go at. So yeah, guys, in the first quarter, I try to give these kids at least 2 series to go with. Sometimes I'm not able to do that, so I just kind of get them acclimated in the second quarter. And then the second half, I start off with my hot kid, whoever was hot in the first quarter. I start off with that kid, then I give it to the next kid that was kind of the second hottest, and so on and so forth, okay? I keep it simple, and I go with the metrics. I don't overcomplicate things. I go with what the defense is giving me, and that's how we dominate games. If my speed back is scoring every time he touched the ball, I'm gonna keep feeding him. No need to give it to my power back. If my speed back is just scoring, and then if my second best player, let's say if it's the hybrid back, if they can't stop my hybrid, he's scoring or he's gashing them for 7 to 10 yards, I'm going to get him the ball second, and so on and so forth. That's how I do it. Sometimes, kids get better in the second half than they do the first half. That's why I still rotate them all in, because, my speed, let's just say my power guy may not have a good first half of the game, but then I put him in the second half and nobody can stop him because he's fresh. He's probably hungry because he wants more reps, and he's going to do what he's going to do. And that's how you do it, guys. It's that simple. It's that simple. So, guys, I hope you got some value out of this video. If you agree or even just like what I just shared, do me a favor and hit that like button, guys. I would really appreciate it. And guys, don't forget to get the free Beast Formation Playbook if you haven't got it. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel, guys. If you like what I'm talking about, like my content, man, I appreciate you guys. I love answering your questions. I never thought I'd be doing this. If you would have asked me a year ago if I'd be doing this, I would say, hell no, right? But I love it. I love talking to you guys, meeting you guys, and helping you guys. So do me a solid and subscribe to my channel. And remember, this is Coach Tim. Remember, be great, have fun, and beast out. Peace.